Hey Dom, how
Hey
are
Mike,
you?
what's up?
Not too much, and I'm psyched for the Seven Samurai.
Well,
It's
are you psyched for this is the 100th movie we've done. A
yes,
movie a
yeah.
week, 100 of them.
So yeah, let's celebrate here with the 100th movie. So
hmm
yeah, no, and what a great movie! This was your pick, and what a great movie to choose for the
I
100th
I
movie.
agonized over what to pick for our 100th movie because it's a momentous occasion.
It is, and you
And
done good.
after I saw this, I was like, wow,
Yeah.
this movie is just so good.
Dom, I hadn't seen this one in quite a while. For anyone out there that's listening to us right now, this is a great movie if you haven't seen it. It's one of Kurosawa's best, and Akira Kurosawa is an amazing filmmaker,
One of the
um,
finest.
one of the finest. I was just saying to Dom just before we started that people always ask, "Oh, what's your favorite movie?" And I will never give an answer for what's my favorite movie, but this is one I could easily put in the top 10, and probably this would be fit nicely in the top five. It's so good. So if you want to, Dom, give a little bit of an intro, it's your movie.
Many times, during our reviews of movies, I'm a bit more understated. I'm a bit more
Yeah,
cautious
yeah,
about my reviews, and I will even if I really like a movie, I'll say it's a great movie. It's not a movie that your life would be less if you died without seeing this
right.
movie.
But this
That does
one,
not apply to the Seven Samurai.
no,
If
no.
you love cinema, you have to see this before you
It's
die.
yes, this is a bucket list movie. If
Yes.
you've never seen this movie, you need to. And nothing we say, we can't spoil this movie for you, um, because it's a great movie, and there's so much to see and so much to appreciate.
There's so much to this movie. We'll probably do an hour-long talk and
Yeah,
still not even get to half of
yeah,
what we could
yeah,
talk about.
yeah. Dom, once again, I will compliment you on a terrific pick because the other thing is, um, I probably the first Kurosawa movie I ever saw was Yojimbo, and I've always said that that was like my favorite Kurosawa movie.
Another
Um,
great film.
it's a great film, but watching this one, I was like, wow. Now that I've seen, I got to see Yojimbo again too, but now that I've seen this one again after many years, looking at it, there's so many things. You were just saying that before we started. You pick up on things that you maybe didn't pick up on the first time or second time or whenever, how many ever times you've seen it. But not it's there's so much in this movie, and the filmmaking is the cinematography is fantastic, great camera shots. Um, he does an amazing use of like his close-ups of faces and just emotion. I can't say enough about Kurosawa. He's great. Um,
hmm
and
hmm
and this movie here, for me, this movie, it hits all the buttons. It's in the right way.
So for those of you who have not seen this movie, and again, I have to say, see this movie.
Yes, yeah,
But for those of you who haven't seen it, the movie is set in Japan in like the 1500s. I believe, what is
yeah.
it? 1586 is supposed to be the year that this event occurs. We see a village and we overhear this group of bandits who want to raid the village, but the leader says, let's wait till after the harvest because then we'll get so much more
Yeah,
from these
yeah.
people. And fortunately for the village, one of the villagers overheard them and goes back to the village. And then they have to decide, what are we going to do? Because they certainly can't fight off bandits. There's no
No,
real, there's no real official power in the area that will help them. It's not like there's any police or guards that will come in. And so they decide to hire a group of samurai to defend the village. But they're a village. They've got no money. They can only pay with food, to which the village elder tells them, find hungry samurai.
yeah, Yeah.
And therein lies a huge chunk of the movie. And this is an epic. This is
Yeah.
207 minutes. This is over 3 hours long.
Yeah.
Um, and so there's a lot to the movie. But the gathering of all the samurai into a group of seven of them, magnificent seven
Yes, absolutely.
of
Yeah.
them. That is a huge part of the movie. And it's also a trope that has influenced hundreds of other
Oh
cinemas.
my God. Yeah.
You,
Yeah.
you know, Magnificent Seven is a direct copy.
It would, yeah, it wouldn't exist if it wasn't for this
But things
movie.
like the Dirty Dozen, Ocean's 11,
Yeah.
the Avengers,
Yeah.
everything where a team is
Yeah.
established, that all came from this movie, from the
Yeah.
Seven Samurai.
Well, and you brought up, I was just saying this again before we started, but you had brought up recently in another movie that we had reviewed, talked about, and you were talking about it being a buddy movie. And I really feel that with this one, these guys form bonds as this movie goes on. And Toshiro Mifune, if I'm pronouncing his name right,
Mm.
who was Akira Kurosawa's man. He was used in so many different movies so effectively, and he's a great character. He's a whatever movie he's in, he takes on the role so well.
He's probably one of the best Japanese actors of that time.
Oh my God, he was terrific. He is terrific, and he's probably there's like you could almost name each one because there's like the older guy that becomes the first one that says he'll help the village. Um, he's he was almost like you could call him the mentor. There's like you could give names to each one of them, but I don't know with Toshiro Mifune, it's like he's like the spine of who they are because he's kind of like on one hand he's kind of funny, he's a little crazy, and he becomes so important when things start going wrong later on. He becomes so important because they don't even want him at first. He's not a real samurai. He's not formally trained. He knows how to fight. He definitely
He's a
knows how to
drunken
fight.
barbarian,
He,
essentially.
he is. He really is. He's more like Conan the Barbarian, but he becomes so important when it comes to like helping to train the villagers because they need help. They need the villagers to actually participate in what's going on. But one of the crucial scenes that I really stands out in my head, they had that they make up a banner, which I thought was really cool, and I love it too because they made up six circles, and he's like, "Well, where's the one for me?" And they're like, "Oh, you're the triangle." Well, that became such a crucial thing because he did end up becoming he was not the samurai, so they separated him with another symbol, but at the same time they started really realizing this guy's important. And
He showed
that
every bit the heart of a samurai.
yeah, and the when they're at their lowest, when they're really at their lowest, um, the villagers are discouraged. Everybody's like, "Wow, this is not going to work out great for us." And he goes and climbs up on top of the building and puts the banner up. And he's like the guy that probably was the least into that banner, but he realized they needed something at that moment. And everybody turns and they're all looking at the banner. It's like, yes. So, like I said, he was such an important part
He
of
was
this.
part class clown, part morale officer.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he motivates the people in the village, kicks them in the butt, literally sometimes.
Entertains
And
the children.
yeah, yeah, that was so darn funny the way he
Hmm.
was entertaining them. They were all laughing and listening to his stories and jokes, and he's just terrific. He's absolutely terrific in this
Do,
scene here where he's like taunting them. The bandits are on the outside of the village, and he's taunting them. He just does so many cool things. Um, and I like I said, I've always been a huge fan of Yojimbo. I loved his character in that. But in every single scene in this one that he's in, and he's in a lot of the scenes, he's the man. And um, to me, it's like this movie couldn't have been the same movie without him. And now there's the mentor. I thought of him as the mentor because he got everybody together and made them want to participate in this crazy adventure that
Well,
really
I
wasn't.
mean, the introduction of his character is crazy. When we first see him, he's cutting off his knot top,
Yes,
which,
yeah,
if you're familiar with samurai culture, that's a mark of honor.
yeah,
Some people would die, some samurai would die rather than have that cut off. And here, just to save a child,
yeah,
he's cutting his off so he can pose as a monk.
yeah, yeah. And that's the other thing is he's so darn smart, um, because he did what he had to do to save that kid. The guy is inside a hut in a different village, and he's got a 7-year old kid in the hut. And if anybody comes near the hut, the guy is saying, "I'll kill him. I'll kill the kid." And so nobody dares go near. And there's samurai in the town, but nobody wants any part of this. And this guy actually shaves his head. Yeah, and yeah, when he cut off, I was thinking, why is he doing this? Because it's almost like a mark of disgrace to lose that. And so you're wondering like, what is his motivation in doing this? There's different people. I kind of look at um, Toshiro Mifune's character. He's a he's probably the spine, but then there's the badass guy, the swordsman, who is another very cool character. And I mean,
Hmm.
there's this movie right behind you is the young dude,
The
and
untested samurai.
yeah, he's actually the old samurai really kind of realizes this kid's actually got promise, but he's worried about him too. He realizes he's young, he's inexperienced.
Wet
Um,
behind the ears.
Yeah, yep. He's again this movie, the way they put together the group, and again the Magnificent Seven, like you said, a lot of movies have copied this one, but man, the guys that are in this, the buddies that are in this, all working and fighting together, um, that chemistry, they bond, they really bond as
So,
friends.
so let me give you the first piece of trivia I learned after
Sure.
watching this movie. This movie it was originally intended to be the sixth samurai,
Really? Oh, okay. Really?
with Toshiro Mifune's character being that serious swordsman.
Oh, okay.
There
Yeah.
was no barbarian samurai wannabe. That
Yeah.
character didn't exist.
Wow.
But after writing, the Kurosawa and the other writers realized how boring it would be just having six straight serious samurai
Yeah.
in here, and they needed one off the wall character.
Well, Dom, I'll tell you something. One of the things about him, you like look at the scene behind me, and when he's being a badass, he's a badass, but he's also such a cut up too, and he's able to actually convince you of this character that he's all of these things. He's a loose cannon too at times. I mean,
Hmm.
at one point, the mentor behind you there says to him, "War is not fought alone," because he's envious of the badass dude that's such a good fighter, and the guy had gone out and actually returned, killed 2 men, and returned with a musket, which they needed, and so he's like, "Well, I'm going to do the same thing," and sure enough, he goes out, does kill a couple of guys, and comes back, and he's like, "I got a musket," and the guy's like, "We don't do it like this." It's a don't be grandstanding. Um, I love the interactions between all of them. And it's really funny when they're on their way to the village and they pretty much told them because they realize you're not a formally trained samurai. you're not coming with us. And they won't let him come, and he will not give up. He's on the road following them. And they're like, wow, look at this guy. He won't quit. And they try hard to discourage him,
Yep, yep, they do.
but at one point he actually gets ahead of them. He's like this
Yeah, they
way.
think they lost him.
Yeah, yeah. Every time they think he's gone, nope, he's right there. Um, but yeah, what a an awe-inspiring movie at times. I mean, um, you know,
This movie, it's one of the most influential films of
yeah,
all time, I would say.
yeah. And the other thing, and which something great that they did for the village, they actually, by the time it's over with, they actually have made the village people who were just they've been besieged by these bandits. There were 40 bandits at the start. There wasn't so many left at the end, but they really took and it was amazing. Seven guys and the villagers, but seven guys take out all of these, and they, think of it. Back then, a lot of those bandits would have been actual samurai that had. That was that particular time. Um,
This
there
was a
were
time where we were seeing a definitely a decline of the samurai. I don't know
Yeah,
Japanese history enough to know how society itself was rearranging,
yeah,
but the samurai class was beginning to be outdated at this point,
yeah,
with muskets being one of the reasons.
right. Oh yeah, yeah. All of a sudden they were becoming less effective, and then there were all the samurai wars too, like the Tokugawa, all these like you know famous uh, Japanese leaders that had controlled certain areas. Those wars wiped out a lot of the best samurai over time, and then all of a sudden there's a lot of impoverished samurai that are looking for
Hungry
work.
samurai.
Yeah. So 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 yeah, it was an odd time probably. And again, yeah, I don't know my I apologize. I don't know my Japanese history enough to really comment rightfully
Right.
on
And I
this.
will say a knowledge of both samurai as a class and Japanese history deepen your understanding of this movie.
Yes. Yep, absolutely. And it actually was making me think back to um, back in the day when you and I used to do a lot more video game playing. The the we
That
spent hours.
Romance of the Three Kingdoms.
Yeah, yeah, all of those ones. There were so many great games that were played like that, and uh, it kind of like makes you think of the history because the samurai wars and all these lords fighting for territory, but this incorporated all of that. And the other thing I thought was hilarious was the way um, that they had decided to actually recruit samurai, and they had their little shtick at the door when they were trying to recruit them, and he would stand inside the door with a stick and wait, they'd call a guy in that was a prospective samurai, and if and their whole thing was, well, if he really is a samurai and he's any good, he won't get hit by the stick,
Right.
and and of course when Toshiro Mifune comes in, he's drunk too. He he's like the first one that actually gets whacked on the head going through the door, and everyone's laughing. And somebody says, "Is he a samurai?" They go, "In his own mind, he is." But yeah, they have no respect for him because there's one of the scenes at the door, and that guy was hilarious. He stands out. And he goes, "Really? Like you really
Yeah.
expect me to fall? You really expect me to fall for that one?" So that I thought that was hilarious, and I love how they were all bonding inside the hut and trying to help each other to recruit guys. Like I said, unbelievable movie. If you have not seen this movie, please see this movie. It's so good.
And,
Uh,
and I gotta say, one of the reasons this movie is so good can just be chalked up to Kurosawa
Yeah.
himself.
Yes.
He is uncompromising in filmmaking. The studio wanted him to have a lot of the village scenes filmed at a in a sound studio, and he
Yeah.
said no. He had an entire village built
Wow. Okay. I didn't realize that. Yeah, that's
because he said the actors will rise to the authenticity of the set,
and they did. Yeah.
and they did.
Yeah. The villagers were actually really terrific themselves. So I mean, everybody just worked so well together. I love how by the end of the movie, the villagers were empowered after being beaten down for years, having their woman stolen, having their all the profits, poor little village, and having everything taken from them. They finally realized, wow, we can actually fight back, and the samurai give them the tools to do it. It's it's a movie that like Western filmmaking, so many movies have, even when you look at movies like, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, all these different spaghetti westerns that have sort of the same theme of a town being besieged and somebody having to come along to be the savior, and it's all because of this movie, man.
Hmm.
It's
Hmm.
this movie is what Japanese film is so good. There's so many good Japanese filmmakers, and Hollywood has taken so much from Japanese filmmaking. We owe a big debt to Japanese filmmaking, and no better circumstance than in this film here.
I often say that I like a film that doesn't neatly fit into a single genre. And
Yeah,
this one, if you're going to describe it to someone, you got to say it's an action film.
yeah.
But it's just as much a Western. It
Oh
has
my God,
elements of
yeah,
romance. And I got to tell you, it is almost a complete comedy. There is so
yeah.
much humor in it.
There really is. I found myself really laughing. And the other thing is, there's great comedy, there's great action, and there's actually some really poignant scenes in this movie
Hmm.
too. I mean, scenes of, where you go from something that's humorous to all of a sudden you're looking at it. This scene here, it's a terrible scene.
Hmm.
There were a bunch of the bandits. There were 40 bandits in this building before that was set on fire. There's a bunch of Japanese women that are in there, and every one of them has been stolen from towns. And the woman standing there, that's her husband standing before her, he's come along to help them out, the samurai, and it's his wife that is in there. And when he comes up and realizes, oh my God, it's my wife, she is so disgraced, and so her shame is so bad, she actually runs back inside. And you think about it, I mean, there were probably about 10 women that ran out of there, and there's 40 guys in there. I mean, these women had to have been going through incredible suffering. So, I mean, there were so many scenes like that and more that your heart's aching for these people. They're really, and the scene with Toshiro Mifune, where he rescues the little boy, and the mother and father both die, and he's holding the kid, and he goes, this was me, that's how I started. And that's what made him such a fighter, because he hated what these people were doing, these bandits were doing. But
And
it's
he
it's
knew intimately what the villagers were going through.
yes, yeah. And even his the fact that he was motivating them to fight, he totally understood that how badly they needed to fight and fight back, because without them, and you look at that, they did a terrific job back in the samurai up. As soon as they had that plan, they'd let one or two in, and then the guys would come out with sharpened spears, and and they'd start attacking the next guys that tried to come in. So they had it. The plan was actually a great plan. Uh,
Well, I mean that lead samurai, he was a master tactician.
oh my God, he was. Yeah, he was so good.
He'd
Uh,
go around with maps and say, "Well, you got to do this here, and this is where we'll let them in."
yeah, yeah, and he even the like there were three huts that they said, but we can't defend these. We need to protect the main and the villagers are all like, well, no, a bunch of us live here. And he's like, no, we can't protect everything. And if you want us to save the village, we have to protect what we can protect. And he understood it enough that it was like this is what we got to do. Um, but
People thought this movie would bankrupt the studio
wow,
because it
wow,
was at the time one of the most expensive movies ever
oh
produced. And it
yeah,
came out in the same year as Godzilla, another really
oh my
expensive movie
God,
to produce.
yeah,
And so the studio was having fits about this movie. And with Kurosawa in particular, the shoot time went 4 times as long as
yeah,
they planned out. They got so nervous that the studio several times just shut down filming.
yeah, yeah.
And Toshiro Kurosawa, his response, he went fishing because he said they've already sunk so much money in, they can't stop this film.
Yeah, yeah, it's got to be finished. Um, I love Kurosawa. I mean, I feel so grateful that the guy existed and made what he made because, uh, believe me, it was one of the things that set off my love for film.
His
When I
ability to capture a scene, a frame that told so much of a story just through visual elements
Yeah.
was
Well,
amazing.
again, look at the like. First of all, I love that it's in black and white. Same with Yojimbo. I love the clarity with the black and white, the detail that you just see in faces. You know, whether it's the simplest thing of, the perspiration, the intensity of the eyes, everything is just, it's right there for you to see. I think it's much more powerful because it's black and white. It's a great example of why when some people will go, "Oh, that's black and white. I don't want to watch that," and they want people want to colorize so much, and it's like, man, this film, to me, this film wouldn't be the same film if you had this in
No,
color. I mean, I look at this. Those are cool covers for the probably VHS copies, but the covers are great and nice to see it in color, but it's the black and white. That's what makes this movie powerful in my eyes. And I'm so glad that they didn't have access to color at the time and that they filmed this in
it,
black and white.
it's funny. So, I look into these films, I do a little research, and one of the primary sites I go to is IMDb, the
Yes,
Internet
yep,
Movie Database.
yep,
And you'll get like trivia, you'll get, who the cast was, who the director was, who the writers were, but you'll also get a rating system.
yep,
And so people like me, people who are registered with the website can give it, anywhere from 1 to 10 stars, and then those are all compiled and you get an average.
yeah,
The average of Seven Samurai on IMDb is 8.6,
yeah.
which
And
I don't know if I've seen a higher
yeah,
one than
yeah,
that.
that's extremely high. And if I could rate it, I would give it a 20.
Well, the thing is you would, and you wouldn't be alone, which is why this is an average. A lot of people gave it tens. There are some 1-star reviews of this movie.
Oh my God,
I
yeah,
urge you to read them. They're like, you wonder why these people watch this movie to begin
yeah,
with, because they
yeah,
clearly don't really enjoy cinema.
yeah, yeah. It's like just stay away. If you've got that low of an opinion of this movie, you don't appreciate cinema.
It's
I mean,
boring,
another
it's
thing,
too long. You should read some because they're a
yeah,
riot.
I had forgotten that the movie was as long as it was, and I swear, like I watched this movie after a long day at work, and I sat back, just started. and I all of a sudden because I started it rather late, and I started realizing, oh wow, this is actually longer than I remembered it, and it doesn't feel like it's that a good movie. You don't even care that it's a
Yeah,
3 hour movie.
there was no slow points. There were no points in which I'm like, I'm bored. This could have been
No.
cut.
Well, there's when you're watching this, there's a point where they say intermission halfway
Hmm.
through the movie, and you're like, oh wow. And I think that's when I actually realized, oh, this movie actually is longer than I realized. But man, it didn't feel that way.
When
And
they when they
uh,
first released this in the US, they
yeah,
cut 50 minutes from it.
I that's a crime. That's a total
The,
crime.
the
Wow.
studio didn't think that an American audience would sit through a movie that
Yeah,
long.
yeah. I hate to hear any movie gets cuts in it. It's to me, it's like I'm way into the idea of the director, if he's got a vision, and especially if it's a guy like Kurosawa, it's like, man, you don't play with this guy's vision.
Well,
It's
the thing editing is a very necessary
oh, it's
element of a
crucial.
movie.
Yeah,
And there's definitely a lot of movies that not everything should be kept in. You need
yeah,
to trim it down to a good compact story. Precision is your friend.
yeah.
But who did the editing on Seven Samurai?
No,
Kurosawa.
really.
He would
Well,
direct and get footage, and then
yeah.
after the shoot at night, he would edit.
Wow, wow. Yeah, this was his baby.
This was
Um,
his baby.
Yeah, but another thing too, and talking about how this film, I mean, you said it at the start. The film is almost like an everything film because you were saying it doesn't fit into. It's actually the scene behind me right there. It's a love story also. This is the young samurai, and he sees and the bandits are taking the girls away, and he's got this beautiful and they're also worried that the people who are coming to rescue them, the samurai, are going to do the same thing.
Village girls would go wild for the samurai.
Yeah, and they kind of were, but they had to hide them out. But this guy, he sees she's a beautiful girl, but she's had her. Yeah, that's when you first see her. She's just
No,
getting
this is
done.
not when you first see her.
Okay, yeah, you're
This is
right.
when they're discovered by the father.
Yes, and the no, that's the bathing scene
Oh,
when
you're
he
right. That
when
is the
he
bathing scene.
yeah, that's the scene where he makes her cut her hair, and
Him slowly realizing how attractive his daughter is
yeah.
and freaking out about it is one of the more excellent minor storylines of this movie.
Yes. Well, there is it's funny too because I think with a lot of fathers, they, especially if they're really good fathers too and everything, they're raising their daughters, and the daughters are their, it's their pride and joy. They see them as, this little angels. And then there's a point there where you look, all of a sudden you realize and you think, oh my God, she's beautiful. She looks like, and you think to yourself, I gotta like do something to protect her because all these asses are gonna come around, trying to get her. And you see that scene where he stands there, and yeah, she's going like, why are you looking at me like that? And he's next thing you know, he comes out with a pair of scissors and he's like, ah. So when what the scene behind me when this guy actually sees her and her hair is all chopped off, he goes, "Are you a girl or a boy?" and and she's like, "No, no, no, I'm a boy," and she's trying to hide, and the two fall in love, and it's actually really cute. He's bringing her. The samurai are being fed much better than the villagers are, and that was another poignant scene when
Hmm.
they start to realize, wow, we're eating the food, and these people, like there's a scene where they take they take her the rice balls, and he was like, I tried the millet because that's what they've been eating, and he goes, it's awful, and
And
he
they actually did, as part of the setting, the
yeah,
cast and crew ate some millet, and they
yeah.
said it was barely edible.
Oh my God, yeah. But you think of it when in times of starvation,
Oh,
people
right.
were having to just, I mean, people have eaten worse things, there is it Haiti where they were eating the like they were baking mud basically and try and eating mud because they had nothing to put in their stomachs. I mean, people have had to eat really bad things sometimes just to try to
Hmm.
stay
Hmm.
alive. But yeah, I'm sure millet's got to be like, and even trying to get nutrition out of that, it's I'm sure. So again, this movie though, getting back to this movie, this movie is in everything. No matter what your motivation is for when you start watching it, you'll see a western, you'll see action, you'll see a beautiful love
This
story.
says everything but sci-fi.
Yeah, yep, yeah. And if you look hard enough,
I
uh, no,
guess maybe
seriously,
them
it's
having muskets at that time.
yeah, yeah, yeah. They didn't have any lightsabers, but the swords, you could say the swords actually, that's where lightsabers came from. So the sword fighting is like watching Obi-Wan Kenobi teach sword fighting. So, but no, terrific, terrific movie. Um, please, if you haven't seen this movie, see this movie. Um, I don't see how anyone that loves cinema would walk away from this and say that they didn't like the movie. Um, but
So
I guess there's always is that Kurosawa right behind you
that's
there?
Kurosawa.
Yeah.
This is them getting ready for the final battle scene. Do you remember how I told you that shooting went a lot longer than they had planned?
Yes. Yeah.
They had planned to do this final battle scene at the end of summer. The delays in shooting meant they filmed this scene in February
I
and they had to spray water to melt the snow that had fallen.
wow.
So they were fighting, they were acting in that samurai garb, in those sandals, in wet, freezing mud.
Dude, I'll tell you, if you especially if you remember um Toshiro Mifune, what he was half naked in some of those scenes. He was fighting and basically he had his loins girded in a loincloth and without a shirt a lot of the times. Uh, those guys must have been all freezing. I
He
mean,
said that was the coldest he had ever been. And he
oh,
also said he lost a few toenails
I'll bet.
after
Yeah,
that shoot.
yeah. And well, yeah, that the rain must have been just hell because and there's mud too.
Oh,
So
yeah.
if it's freezing, just imagine what that had to feel like
Oh, yeah.
being yeah. So you probably I mean it's lucky they didn't end up with frostbite. If it was actually snow, they had to melt. But no, this film, like I said, I love how it unfolded, and even at the end, I don't actually have a shot of the hill, but there's a great shot near the end where they have you see the graves of the villagers, and then higher on the hill, there's they lost what four yeah four of
Mhm.
their
Yeah,
of the
four.
seven, and that you can see the graves with their swords planted in the earth, and the mentor dude is standing there and he's like, well, look what we lost here, but they saved an entire village. So it like I said, um, again a poignant scene, at the end. It's uh, beautiful movie, unbelievably beautiful movie, and a great doorway. If you watch this one, you're going to want to watch Yojimbo
You're going to
because
want to watch Yojimbo. You're probably going to want to watch Rashomon.
oh my God, yeah, Rashomon is actually a terrific, terrific movie. Again, starring Toshiro Mifune,
Hmm.
and it's a and that was actually the Rashomon was actually a really cool story that actually it's something really true in life how people will tell a story and everybody's got a different side to the story and there's a little bit of truth in each side and there's also things that people get wrong whether deliberately or by accident or whatever just because of their way they see it But Rashomon is an important movie, even just because of that. So
But you know
again,
what movie I am going to follow this with?
what's that?
A Bug's Life.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I've never seen that movie.
I saw it a long time ago, and I confess this is actually a scene from Yojimbo behind me, but I confess that I barely remember A Bug's Life, just a little bit.
I have never seen it. I've never wanted to see it. And nothing about it has really attracted me.
Yeah.
And yet, in researching the Seven Samurai, I've heard statement after statement saying that the movie A Bug's Life is just almost an exact copy of the Seven
Wow.
Samurai.
Wow.
And so I got to find that out for myself.
Yeah, I didn't realize that, but yeah, we will definitely have to do A Bug's Life. And it's been a little while. I think the last animation one was your choice. It was it Meet the Robinsons that we did?
Oh,
Uh,
it was yeah, I remember.
yeah. I know you picked an animation one. And it was a terrific animation one too.
I've got so many animated films that on my list. I'm trying to
Yeah.
spread them out, but there's a lot of great animation.
Yes. Oh yeah, absolutely. I love anime. I love good animation. Um, but yeah, hard to go wrong with a good animated if it's a good movie. But I'm a fan. I'm a cartoon fan anyway. I love the old Tom and Jerry. I love Warner Brother
Yep,
cartoons.
yep, Looney
You know,
Tunes.
Tex Avery, who was a real crazy cartoonist. He was so crazy that the studios were like trying to rein him in because he would just do these madcap scenes and people would say, you can't do that. And he'd be like, sure I can. But no, once again, as far as this film, um, it's must see. It's absolutely this is one that if you are at all, a fan of film, uh,
It's a master class. The framing, the camera angles, the lighting, the set design, the costuming, the acting, the writing, every single
yeah,
part of this movie is awesome.
I look at this movie as a perfect movie. Um, if
As
you
perfect as a movie can be.
Well, yeah, but if you said to me, "Okay, Mike, go in there and fix what you think needs to be fixed," I'd be like, "Don't touch this movie. Do not touch this movie. It's like leave it alone. It's it can't be remade as good as it was.
It's bad
It's
enough they remade The Magnificent Seven.
yeah,
That
yeah,
was
yeah.
that was horrible.
It was, and the original Magnificent Seven did not need to be. I have to give Hollywood credit with the Magnificent Seven, and we will have to do that down the road
Yep.
because that's a terrific film. But yeah, the please stop remaking unless you can make a film
Unless you
better.
can do a True Grit level remake.
Yes, yeah, I will give it to when I heard True Grit was being remade. I love the Coen brothers. I love the Coen brothers, great filmmakers, and all I could think of was, boy, I hope they do it right because they had the John Wayne classic. They
Yeah,
did,
when you hear anyone trying to remake such an iconic film,
yeah.
you cringe a little inside.
Oh yeah. Well, I gotta say, I look at the remake. And as much as I love the original, I actually I kind of almost lean towards the Coen brothers now uh, for that movie. There's talking about humor and talking about there's plenty of action. There are terrific scenes in that movie, and it's done so well. And I haven't read the book, but I've heard it's actually truer to the original book. Um, I love the remake and again I give full credit to the Coen brothers. But please, if anyone's
Do
thinking
not
of
touch the
don't
Seven
touch this
Samurai.
movie, don't try to remake it. It's a perfect film. That's not again that's behind me there. That's Yojimbo. I keep popping that one up, but but again, look at how Toshiro Mifune would actually bring these characters to life that he did. The transition from when he made or when he was in Seven Samurai to this one here, because he's playing like more of like an older, wiser, more like beat up samurai that's kind of just like he's kind of tired.
He wants
And
to
then
work smarter, not harder.
well, he does. It's
Mhm.
hilarious. There's a lot of humor in Yojimbo, just like there is in Magnificent Seven.
But
And again,
I love to share Mifune. I still say 80% of the credit comes right down to Kurosawa
oh,
himself.
absolutely. It's
The,
it
the Seven Samurai was the first time he ever used multiple cameras.
Yeah. Well, the angles with this and the switch from one angle to the next in one scene, and how he gets, especially his Kurosawa, the way he captures faces, and he's not afraid of a close up and getting right in on a character. It's like I said, his filmmaking is just you could teach a film class just on his movies, and if anyone graduated that class, it would be what they need to make film and make it right. And a lot of Hollywood could actually benefit from really practicing some of his technique because he was a master filmmaker.
Although
And
I do have to also point out this guy.
yeah,
This is like the saddest man. He is
yeah,
just, you can see pain etched on his face every time he's on screen.
yeah, yeah. Well, and that's the crazy thing. That's the crazy thing with the actors that Kurosawa, and again, you have to give the credit to Kurosawa because he knew how to film all these people. And you look at this guy, I don't know how much acting experience the guy had. The scene of the old lady where they when they bring her the rice cake,
Hmm.
her face, she's so old. I mean, God knows how old she was when that they filmed her, and they weren't afraid to get right in close. They every crack, every wrinkle in her face is just so highlighted. And I mean, she looked like she really was blind. I don't know what she was, but her eyes were just pretty much closed. And the same with the old village man that everybody was going to for advice and help. There's a scene there that's the right behind my head there. That's the old village man, and all the samurai go there to talk to him, giving him the respect. Again, with Japanese and Chinese culture, you one of the things that I deeply love about their culture is how much they do revere, the elderly and how they take care of them. But that Kurosawa did these terrific shots of faces, and the scene behind your head right there, no better example right there. Yeah, he was emotional pain whenever he was filmed.
I've never seen a more expressive face. It just
Yeah,
every time I saw him on screen, I'm like, oh my God, he's coming right through the screen.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, you really, it's amazing how he actually did make you feel for those villagers anyway. But yeah, you're absolutely right. It's just highlighted in their faces, and I don't know. Like I said, this is another scene of that you see close-ups of her face. She's waking up before they set the hut on fire. She's waking up, and you can see she's realizing, oh, there's people out there. Um, but imagine the fear, even when the woman starts fleeing out of the hut when it's on fire. Um, just probably the fear that they had just from not knowing, like, oh, is this more like bandits that are just
Mhm.
gonna, abuse us some more? And it had been so long since I saw the Seven Samurai. When she first came out, I was thinking, wait a minute, like, and then she ran back in. I was actually thinking, like, oh, she's actually thinking they're gonna abuse her. and that's why she ran in because she couldn't take it anymore. And then the guy says, "That's my wife. It's my wife." And you're like, "Oh my God!" She actually ran into the fire because she was so shamed. She didn't want to face her husband after what those guys had done to her. So, like again, what a movie!
Yeah, yeah. Lest our viewers get sick of us just
Praising it.
Kurosawa fanboying
Yeah,
and praising him to high heaven.
yeah,
No surprise. Two
yeah,
thumbs up. I would give more if I had
yeah.
them.
It's I'm all about thumbs in this
Yeah,
one. It's yeah,
there aren't
absolutely.
enough thumbs for this movie.
So, yeah, there's not enough thumbs. So this is one I have to bring out my thumb picture because
And I love talking about stuff like the framing, the lighting, the costume, and that's great. But even if you're not into that, watch this film and see how many other films you can see that came out of
yeah,
this.
absolutely. If you have seen any fair amount of movie making films, I should
Force
say,
10 from Navarro,
yeah, yeah, you could go on and on. Again, like
Star
I said,
Wars.
a lot of those spaghetti westerns have copied from this film. Hollywood has stolen so much from Japanese filmmaking, period, but especially Kurosawa and especially this movie. It's the ultimate buddy movie. Uh, it's the ultimate action movie.
It's the
Again,
ultimate samurai movie.
yeah, you can't even you can't cap it because it's a western too. It's you can't say it's one movie. It's so many. Um, Unbelievable. And yes, we have praised it. It's what was the
We are not worthy.
yeah, we're not worthy. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah, I've seen this movie probably 4 or 5 times, and I will probably see it just as many times in the future.
Well, I'll tell you what, I've seen it probably 3 or 4 times, and I know I've seen Yojimbo more, but rewatching this one again made me feel like, oh my God, like I I shouldn't have like let so much time pass between the
Mhm.
last viewing that I had of this. I feel like this is one I could make an annual, you know, visitation to because it's that good.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm going to start requesting certain theaters in my area re-show this on the big screen
yeah,
because
I've never seen it on the big screen, and this
that
would be
is one of the things
beautiful.
I was thinking, watching it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This would be perfect. Well, Dom did anyone that is watching right now. Dom did a terrific.
I did a walkthrough of the historic Clinton Street Theater here in Portland, Oregon.
Yeah, and we have a video up of Dom doing that, and it's I've only seen that on Dom's video. I've heard from other people, your cousin Alicia for one,
Hmm.
that Agfa does trade with them, and she praised the theater also. So I anyone that's probably they don't need our referral, but at the same time, it sounds like one terrific theater. Yeah, see if they can get a hold of.
Them and the Hollywood are the two people that if anyone's going to show it, it's going to be one of those two.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, yeah, yeah, I would love to see it on on the big screen. And yeah, I would like I said, watching it. I watched it on. I've got a decent sized TV, but it's not like seeing it on the big screen.
Right. With that
There's
sound system and
yes, there's no there's as much as I love the fact that we have terrific TVs now in our homes, and it doesn't replace the theater experience. And
doesn't replace it.
no, not at all. So, and you're blessed to have. I wish I had more being in my area. There are theaters, but I have to go north or go,
Oh, I am
south.
super blessed as a movie lover in Portland.
Yeah, yeah. So there is a little bit of a dearth of
But
here.
you are not blessed. How are you going to follow the Seven Samurai?
Well, I actually was thinking about um, what I wanted to, and in keeping with the theme of, um, you know, the time of year. Um, I thought it over and I went back and forth on a few different ones, but I do have my choice for next week is
Awesome.
Hush, Sweet Charlotte.
Ah, Hush Hush Sweet Charlotte.
So another
Nice.
black and white one. So we're definitely doing, and it's an older film. But
63?
what's that?
63?
It was, yeah, something like that, 63 or 64, something like that. And it's the great Betty Davis. It's a terrific, Joseph Cotton's in it. It's is it actually an older Vivian Lee that's in it? It's a terrific cast. Um, Peter Boyle's in it. There's a number of well-known oh, Agnes Moorehead.
Yep,
Agnes
yep.
Moorehead is terrific in that, and but we'll discuss that next week. But it's in fitting with the horror. It's not Kurosawa, but it's a
We're
terrific
moving into
film.
spooky season. You're right.
Yeah, and so I that's why, and I was trying to figure out like what should I pick? And you're right, you can't
Right.
do justice after seeing the Seven Samurai. However, it's a piece of um, it's horror. It's a little bit schlocky,
But it's a
kitschy.
little gothic too.
It definitely is. It definitely is. There's definitely some humor in it that's sometimes unintentional. It's but it's terrific, and that was a movie. My history with it, growing up, I saw that many times when I was a kid, and I remember being scared shitless. I mean, just really scared. It scared the hell out of me. And there's so many cool scenes. So yeah, you can't follow the Seven Samurai properly with anything really. But I that's my pick. So we'll just have to we'll just have to work our way through after
Well, we're transitioning into Halloween.
we are. And there's so many good ones that I could have but hey, the
Oh, we're
Seven
talking
Samurai.
weeks and
So
weeks of horror. So viewers out there, get ready.
yeah, get ready because it's I've been like Dom had to pick something on par with what he picked because
Mhm.
we were at the 100th and we
It
did
was
we
it was either this Apocalypse Now or 2001: A Space
oh
Odyssey.
yeah, that my God, yeah. And again, talking about different directors, I mean, it's Kubrick is one of my favorite directors too. I'm a big fan of certain directors, Hitchcock, Kubrick, Akira Kurosawa. I mean, there's so many, the Coen brothers, Tarantino. I love Tarantino. So, but yeah, Dom, you did us justice with this because this is an unbelievable film.
All I can say, and we've said it too many times, if you haven't seen it, go see this film.
Yeah, it's we talk about sometimes one or the other of us will depending on who picked the movie, the other will be like, yeah, well, I liked it, but it wasn't it wasn't great or whatever. But you can't this movie here. There's no debate about whether or not it's a great movie.
No,
And
this
if
movie
you,
is amazing.
it's so good. It's seriously, people, if you haven't seen this movie, you owe it to yourself. You owe it to yourself to watch it. It's just terrific. And I'm not, I mean, I know we're coating it with candy kisses and but it's worth every we can't say enough. I feel like we're not saying enough, and that's the problem. It's so good. And it's got Toshiro Mifune, again, I'm sorry if I'm butchering his name, but I love this actor. I love Kurosawa. One of the great directors, one of the greatest. Um, the man was a master, and again, we're not worthy. but but yeah, Dom, I thank you very much for picking this
Oh, I
because
was excited to revisit.
I'll tell you what, again, like I had almost forgotten just how great this movie was. I mean, I knew it was great, and if anyone had asked me, I would have said, "Oh, it's a great movie, got to see it." But after having revisited it, it's so much more reinforced in my mind. Um, but yeah, having said that, I think we've done the thumbs up. We've done
Yep.
the we've given out the recommendation for next week for what we're picking, and so I think we can call it a wrap. But Dom, you did us good, so thank you very much.
Oh, my pleasure. I'm glad we could both enjoy it again.
No, believe me, I definitely did. So everyone, we will see you next week. Please leave a like, subscribe if you haven't, and please join us again because we're coming back for Hush Hush Sweet Charlotte. So
Same
and there's even a
YouTube
song.
time, same YouTube channel.
Exactly. Dom, see you next week, buddy.
I'll see you, man.
So long.